We understand that credit risk analysis is very important from the lender's point of view. But are there any challenges involved in credit risk analysis? What are those problems and challenges that typically banks or other lenders face? These challenges or problems can be listed down as follows. Now let's understand each of these factors in detail. It is very difficult to obtain a reliable data of the borrower and of the industry. The borrower may hide certain data from you. For example, in many cases it has been observed that the borrowers have given wrong financial statements to the banks, or for example they have delayed the submission of the financial statements. They could have also hidden away a lot of important factors like the litigations against the company or against the promoters or the founders. Let's say a borrower approaches you for a loan. That borrower has earlier borrowed from a bank in which your friend works. So obviously you will like to check the track record of that borrower with your friend who is working with another bank. In that case, now your friend has a moral conflict. If he gives you bad feedback about the customer, he is divulging the customer data. Also, by not letting the customer get loan from you, he might be putting his bank's loan in risk. Therefore, it is really difficult to obtain a very good data on credit from the competing bankers. The challenges of forecasting the risks that come from the systematic forces. Systematic forces are basically those forces that impact the entire financial system. These could be economic, these could be, for example, political or social. And it is very difficult to estimate the impact of these factors on an individual industry or on an individual business. There is a conflict between the profitability targets or the asset quality of a bank versus the growth targets that are given to, let's say, the salespeople in the banks, because of which the salespeople are under pressure to go for the customers and make sure that they attain their own targets. If the salespeople want to achieve their lending targets, they may go for bad quality borrowers. So there is an inherent conflict between the incentive structure of the sales team and the quality of the assets that the banks wants to create. This is something that is a big challenge in the credit risk analysis. The future by very nature is unpredictable. So even if you try to predict or forecast, you still have to build worst case, best case or likely case kind of scenarios. Of course, you cannot just assume the worst case as well, because in many cases the business will prove to be unworthy of borrowing if you assume only the worst case. So building these forecasts or building these kind of models and taking a realistic view on the performance of the borrower in future is very difficult task. The reliability of the risk models itself can be questioned. For example, when there was a GFC 2008, the banks which lent against the houses were questioned, what kind of models they were looking at when they undertook those lending decisions. Likewise, the insurance companies like AIG, which wrote a lot of CDS or credit default swaps, were also questioned what kind of credit models were they using when they undertook those decisions to write those CDS swaps. So the risk models themselves might be under question, and it is very difficult to understand which risk models are correct unless you go into the future and then at that time you actually realize which was the correct model to use. If the borrower faces bankruptcy, it is not so easy to establish your claim in front of the people who are handling the bankruptcy. You might have to stand in the queue. There may be certain rival claims that are higher than your own claim, and you will get the money only when those claims are settled. So understanding that hierarchy itself is a challenge. Have you understood these factors, which are challenges that are faced in analyzing the credit risk when particular proposal comes to you? If you have liked this video, please do share as well as subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Yes.